With 4.89 billion people using social media every single day in 2023 and the average screen time of 3.49 hours per day on average, is it any surprise that the demand for social media marketing agencies which can actually deliver results is at an all-time high? Businesses have to market to their customers, otherwise they go bankrupt. And with more than half of the world's population, so the majority, using social media is definitely where the customers are at. Businesses have to market to their customers where they're located. They can't go and advertise in the middle of their field if all their customers are on social media. If all their customers are in the middle of the field, that'd be perfect because they're advertising to their customers. But in 2023, that's not the case. They are all using social media. So essentially, the customers have forced the businesses to go where they are, and businesses now have to market on social media. And now with this fact in mind, how can we go ahead and harness this to actually go ahead and make money? Firstly, let's dive into what social media marketing agency actually is. So SMMA. It's you going to a business owner and offering to increase their monthly revenue for a service. And this could be any sort of service, but the one we're going to be talking about in this video is paid advertising, and the best service to offer, in my opinion, is paid advertising. You're delivering a service for them, and essentially the reason why they'd hire you over an employee is because an employee is a risk. Employees can do a bad job, and therefore they're much harder to get rid of. Not only that, if they're sick, you still have to pay them, and if they want leave, you have to pay them. They also have holiday, which again, you have to pay them. Whereas none of those things are the case if you're working directly with an agency. So for them, whereas if they work directly with you, they don't have any of those downsides and just all of the upsides that having, an employee would have. So by working with you, the business owner has all of the upside of having an employee, but with zero of the downside. A common thing that I constantly see people online saying, and people in different communities around SMMA space, is everyone saying that the SMMA industry is saturated, whereas that couldn't be further from the truth. The amount of SMMA owners out there in the world nowadays is saturated. Yes, the competition is ruthless, but the amount of SMMA owners that can actually deliver results is not saturated. Another thing I see everybody getting wrong is them saying that they're too young to run an agency and therefore the business owners wouldn't pay them. But again, that isn't true, because if you can deliver them results, the business owner will throw money at you to work with you. The reason why we're using paid advertising is because we can easily track the ROI, which is return on investment, which directly tells the business owner through objective statistics and numbers how much of a return you are getting them with the money that they give, and therefore they can value your service in their head at a comfortable amount, because it's very simple. If I pay them 2,000 and they make me 4,000, then I wouldn't mind paying them a 10% commission on that. It becomes very clear for them, and therefore they can justify paying you for the service when it's a high ticket amount, and you get them results, they're going to pay you. And the best way to measure your results is through ROI, which stands for, like I said at the beginning, return on investment. If you're working full-time, you can absolutely start SMMA. All you're going to have to do is put some extra work in the morning and evenings compared to someone that is doing SMMA full-time. You'll tend to find that business owners are actually too busy running their own business, so they'd much rather pay someone else to run their paid advertising for them, to free up their time to do more important activities within their business. The key distinction here with being an SMMA owner is that we're not charging for the amount of time it takes for us to do a thing, we're charging for the value that we provide, meaning that we can simply go ahead and charge a percentage for the amount of value that we provide rather than billing them for the amount of time that we spend doing something. This is known as commission, and you should aim for about a 10% commission. On top of that, you could charge a flat fee if you're good enough and you can get away with asking for it and then accepting it. This could be for things like paying for a contractor to make sure that you've always got the cost of them covered, systems and softwares that need to be paid for, anything like that. Many people, when trying to start an agency, go ahead and try and sign the e-com stores, and in fact that's the wrong way to go about it. The best place to go is actually locally, where business owners are dying to get customers profitably and would happily agree to signing an ROI deal where you get paid a percentage of the amount of value that you can provide them. Since you're local, they're also more likely just to give you a chance if you don't have any testimonials, because they can trust you easier, you're local, you're in person, rather than just some Joe Schmo from another country like India that's blasted on cold email outreach to 10,000 other business owners from the UK. If you're local, they're more likely to trust you if they can see your face, if they can give you a handshake. They're more likely to believe in you and trust you if you have very little experience. This is why it's ideal to start, going locally when you're brand new. Once you start locally, you can then scale up from there. Once you have a few testimonials underneath your belt, you can then start going for clients digitally. Those are, your education businesses, your e-com businesses, stuff like that, potentially even info product businesses. Those are the people that you can target once you have, the local businesses underneath your belt. We first need to decide on a niche and understand the ins and outs of their industry. The reason why this is so important is because when we do some digging to find out more information, knowing the ins and outs of their industry will mean that we know instantly how we can help them. We will be able to speak their language and understand what problems they have. We do this by becoming familiar with just one niche, one customer, and one, as Alex Hormozi would say, avatar. But in this sense, in the SMMA space, it really doesn't matter what niche you pick. All that matters is that you can stick with it long enough to become an expert to properly serve serve that type of client. So the key here is to not jump from niche to niche to niche. Shiny object syndrome is just to pick one and become an expert at it. In the beginning, getting your feet wet, finding which industry you like the most is beneficial, don't get me wrong, to find the one that suits you the best. But once you found it, you need to stick with it and run with it to get to that expert level to properly understand how you can help them. To find these local businesses, what we need to do is take the niche that we're targeting. Let's say maybe it's, chiropractors. We would type that into Google Maps to come up with all the local businesses in the area which are chiropractors, and just take out whatever niche this is and replace it with the word that you've chosen for your niche that would bring up the most amount of your ideal clients on Google Maps. Once you have the list, click on a business and it will bring up all of their information. And from there, we need to do some digging and find the business owner's name, email, and phone number. And from that point, we need to do some digging. We need to find the business owner's name, email, and mobile number. And if you want to go crazy and get a bit stalkerish, don't recommend this, but you could go to Instagram. You could also find their Facebook, and you could also find their LinkedIn. So that's 6 different contact points that you'll be able to have with this business owner. And if you haven't picked up on this already, the reason why I would be looking for the business owner, if it hasn't clicked yet, is because the business owner is the person that's going to be deciding, and it's a decision maker for whether they want to work with you or not. It's not going to be the receptionist. It's not going to be the dentist that's just joined, or it's not going to be the intern that hates working for the company. It's going to be the business owner, because he's the person that has the power to decide whether you get paid or not. So we want to find every single contact point that we can with him or her. Once we've found the contact details, we want to go ahead and reach out to the potential client. The goal here isn't to pitch, it's to simply get them onto a meeting where we can then go ahead and pitch them. The point of outreach is to get as many meetings as possible. It isn't to sign as many clients as possible. By contacting them on as many contact points as possible, what we're doing here is increasing the amount of chances that we will have to set more meetings. Because if a business owner only checks one platform and you don't contact him on there, you will never catch his attention. Whereas if you message him on all 6 and he only checks 1 out of all those 6, then you're guaranteed that he's going to see the message and therefore even be potentially open to having a meeting for you. It will just simply increase your chances. We need to try everything and do everything in our power to get in contact with this potential business owner that we'd like to do business with. Once we've landed a meeting with them, we want to find out all the critical information about their business for exactly how we can help them. This could be the problems they're facing, the challenges they're facing, and exactly how we can come along as the paid advertising expert and help them with their problems. The next step is to close, where you tell them the price, the services that you offer them, and exactly how that can help them solve their problems. After you tell them the price, you can't stutter, you can't repeat it, you cannot change it. You have to maintain your confidence about what you're closing them on. Do not leave the call without a sale. Keep battling objections, questions, and any self-limiting beliefs that they have until you get a yes. You either sell them or they hang up. This is an interesting mindset that I've had. Obviously, do not do anything that's going to harm them, or don't say anything illegal, but the best way to go about it is to simply have the mindset of, I'm not going until I get a yes or a sale or an indication to move forward, or you're going to have to hang up the phone. This mindset isn't about avoiding no's, it's about doing everything in your power to not get a no. If you get a no, you can't put yourself down. It's all part of the game. You just have to get your head up and keep moving. The reason why you shouldn't be worried about getting rejected is because how I see rejection is simply learning what and how you should do to get better next time, and then hopefully get that yes. In this video, we're not going to cover service delivery in depth, but the key here is to only offer the service when you can actually deliver them results, instead of, trying to go ahead and sign clients. Only do that once you know for a fact that you can deliver the service that you're offering. And when I say deliver, I mean that you don't have to necessarily do it yourself. You can get a contractor to do it, but that is still counting as you delivering the service, but you just didn't do it yourself. But you're still giving them the service they paid you for. Whatever the definition of results you agreed on the call as, the KPI for you to move forward with. The one that I recommended at the beginning of this video for paid advertising is ROI, but for everyone it's going to be different. If you did management, it may be the amount of followers per month, or engagements, or the amount of likes you get per post. Anything really. Just get that defined, set in stone, and then only go on to meetings and sell them when you can actually get them the results that they're paying you for. Once you get bigger and better, you will eventually be able to outsource the service delivery to someone else to free up your time. Like we said at the beginning, paid advertising is a service delivery that we're going to be doing here. The most common form of paid advertising is Facebook, but there is, some other examples, such as, the most common form of ads is Facebook ads, which also includes Instagram, but there is other things out there such as, TikTok or Google ads, but the one that you can get the results with the easiest, in my opinion, is Facebook. It isn't hard to go ahead and give business owners results that they're happy with and are big enough for it to mean something for them. If paid advertising advertising isn't for you, then you could go ahead and do some management. That's what a lot of people do. There is people out there that have scaled to, 7-8 figures from just doing management alone. But for you to get started, the easiest one for you to do is paid advertising. But again, that's just a personal preference. It's what I think will be the easiest for you, but everyone will be different. Everyone has different backgrounds and their skill sets. Everyone just, everyone differs. Once you get big enough, we can outsource using platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. You can then find people that are great at what they do, and then you can pay them to do the things for you. Before you go ahead and pay a contractor, make sure that they can actually go ahead and do the job at the standards that you set for them and actually get results. Otherwise, they're just stealing money from you. You can outsource to someone in a country where if you get paid $3,000 from a client, you could then go ahead and pay the contractor £1,000 to go and deliver the service for you. This could be from a country like South Africa or India, and due to the conversion rate, $1,000 is actually a lot for them, and they'd be very happy to work for you, delivering the service for you without you having to do a single thing. And when you take the money that the client has paid you, which is $3,000, and minus the cost of the contractor, this gives you a solid chunk of cheese of $2,000 profit. The client's happy because they got the results, you're happy because you made your $2,000 profit, and the contractor's happy because the conversion rate is a significant amount of money for them, and they feel good about getting you results. Everyone wins. With this model, and with this structure set in place, you could technically do this wherever you want and whenever you want. This means you have time freedom and location freedom. Personally, I would never. For some people, they don't want time freedom or location freedom, but they want the possibility to have it if they need to. Say, for example, if they need to move country or an emergency comes up, they want the ability to be flexible and go ahead and have time and location freedom, but they don't actually need it at this very minute to be happy, but having the option is what makes them happy. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. That is the ultimate guide for starting SMMA in 2023. Simple edition. So if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment with your feedback down below. Let me know what you think. Lighting could be a bit better, but we'll fix that next video. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. I don't know about this lighting. I think it's good.